I'm here in my happy place, my garden. Been working hard all morning. First thing I had to do was take my Bronco Blue down to get new tires, new kicks. I think these roads are just hard on the street tires. So I got better tires for this type of terrain. It's only 3 years old, but I was already wearing them pretty thin. So I did that early this morning and then got back and got to work on this raised bed over here. Yeah, pretty tired after all that. I've been lugging around 40-pound bags of compost or potting soil. Pretty heavy. Had to take a break in between and did it more. And yeah, I think at this point I can win the Hunger Games. Pretty strong at this point. It's all right. Alex and I are reading the newest Hunger Games. It's about Haymitch's games. If you like the Hunger Games, you know what I'm talking about. And if you do like the Hunger Games and you've read the books, you would love this book. This is a good book. It's a good one. I think it's my second favorite. Anyway, I have it on the brain. I'm constantly thinking about it right now. So anyway, yeah, those bags are heavy. And it took me all morning to deal with this. There is some rotted wood on the bottom. Then I put a layer of cardboard, and then there was some, I did compost, and then I did a layer of a really heavy layer of this potting soil that I got at the local nursery. The local nursery has their pepper plants already out in the open, out of the protected areas. So I figured, I think they're okay to be planted. I just have to keep up on the watering because right now I can see that they're getting a little wilty. Okay, I have them all laid out the way I want to plant them. There are a couple that look a little suspect, as I said. I only have one Fresno that actually made it through the whole debacle of my planting, my sabotage. So hopefully it makes it through to its old age and produces the peppers. Also have some jalapeno whoppers, I think they're called. These are these are a pepper that I've never tried before, eaten or grown, called Jimmy Nardello. So I'm going to try those out. They're more of a sweet pepper. Yep. Excited about that. Oh, they're looking a little sad. I got to water them. Okay, so these are shishito. Love them right off the vine. I know you can buy them in the store. And for me, the store ones, they kind of have a thick skin. The ones that I've grown before in the soil and just, plucked them off the plant, picked them off the plant and then cooked them up. It's much better. They're not as thick-skinned for some reason. Okay, I'm going off track. Okay, and then these are big guys. They're more of a hot pepper. We'll see how those go. Oh, there's a little lizard in my soil. And then the last one is a bell pepper. I don't use bell peppers very often, especially the green ones. I mean, you can leave them in longer, I think, and they become red. I believe that's how it works. So anyway, these are my peppers. I'm going to get them in planted and get them watered and scoot this cute little lizard out of here. Okay, I'm going to water them again in a little bit. It's hard to get, a ton of water into all that soil. I am a little concerned about the wind on them because they are kind of tender, especially my shishitos. Hopefully they make it through the cornucopia. So I'm going to put cages. I don't have enough My brother lets me take whatever I want from their boneyard over there. And I think I only have 5 more cages left, tomato cages. So I'm going to use what I have, make sure I have one on each end, and spread a couple out here and there, just in case we get a frost. And I can put the frost cloth over the cages to keep them protected. Hopefully the wind won't damage them too much. Okay, here's my tomatoes. They're looking pretty good. One in the end, this is a cherry. I've been giving them a liquid feed once a week. Feeding Fridays. Friday feedings, whatever. Bush Doctor Kelp Me Kelp You seaweed plant food. It's organic. You just add a little bit to watering can. And I've been watering them at the base instead of on top. I guess they don't really like water on their leaves, so I haven't been doing that. I've been trying to be careful. This is the only one that I'm a little worried about. It looks better than it was. It's perked up a bit, and it's coming back, it looks like. But we'll see how it does. See if it makes it through the arena. My little tomato, may the odds be ever in your favor. It's ridiculous. I'm cracking myself up. Okay. Things are rolling. Well, I thought I'd show you my peas. There's a big clump of them right there. I need to thin those out today. Some of them are kind of thinned out, but yeah, they really need to be thinned out. It's better that they get air around them so they don't get like this powdery white mildew on them. I don't want that traveling onto my lettuces, so I'm going to thin them out. I'm also going to take this frost cloth down because I think it's making it too hot in here. It's like a little sauna in here. And I did order a shade cloth that I'm going to put over it. That will help keep things cooler. I mean, the peas are doing good now because it's cold at night. They like the cold. Once it starts getting too hot, they can get that mildew. So I have to just be really careful and adjust things as needed. But wow, look at the lettuces. Makes you want to have a salad. Dang, I may have to come back down here and pick some salads, some lettuces for my dinner. Wow, looks great. Okay. I am going to make something for lunch today because I have a ton of cilantro. And if you ever grown cilantro, you know that it will bolt if it gets too hot. So yeah, I think I need to start using that pronto. It's brutal, but it has to be done. It's my fault. I planted them too close, thinking that I didn't know what I was doing. So I just wanted to make sure that I got something. I should have known better. I'm just always self-doubt. Here's my ingredients. This is half a cup of quinoa cooked and cooled. Then I have some black beans, some red onion, jalapeno. Here is the cilantro that I picked from the garden and some avocado. And then this is just a quick vinaigrette of 1.5 limes juiced, plus about teaspoon and a half of olive oil, garlic, salt, and pepper. The quinoa's already been salted. I'm not going to put any more salt because I'm not supposed to have salt. Okay. Oh, shit. Put this thing together. I'm just going to pile everything together. Beans, cilantro, jalapeno and onions, and then just toss this real quick. I'm going to put the avocado in last. I don't want it to get all mushed. Okay, looks good to me. If I had tomatoes, I'd put tomatoes in that, but you know, I don't have any growing in there. It's not really tomato season, but that's a lot for lunch, so I'll have half for lunch, half for dinner, and then throw in some greens from the garden for dinner. Try to make this update quick because I can blabber on, I know. Wanted to show you my shipping container got delivered. Very exciting. It looks small when I look at it, especially because all the stuff that I have, but a lot of my things are for the garden, so I don't need a huge one. Yeah, here it is. First I was a little worried because it's red. It's pretty red, but it's more like a, I don't know, burnt red, I guess, and it blends in with the tree trunk, so I'm not sure that I'm going to, I was going to paint it, but I don't know that I need to. Maybe I'll do some kind of stripes over the wording or the numbers, or take those off, I don't know, but yeah, there it is. There's the gate, so it kind of just blends in with these trees right here. Yeah, so I'm happy with it. I just got to get my stuff up here. My brother promised to help me with that instead of having to hire a moving truck. Okay, so we are still not into the RV. The second mobile RV techs, they still have the furnace, and they're doing bench tests on it. So to figure out all the things that need to be repaired or fixed, and if it can't be fixed, then I have talked to Keystone, and if it can't be fixed, there's procedures you have to go through, not that bad, and they will send out a new furnace. That's the good news. So when right before I had the RV tech from Camping World come out, I did do procedure on the RV tanks so that I can release the valves a lot easier to, you know, get rid of all the waste in those two tanks. I'm going to show you that. I did record myself installing those, attaching those, but I also figured out how to use a water counter, so that way I can use another valve that I bought that will shoot water up into the tank to clean it that way too. And it's working. I just had to figure out how big my tanks were. I didn't know. Pretty big, and it's a lot of water. So I'm going to do that today. But first I'll show you what I did as far as putting those new valves on. Here are the outlets for the gray and black tanks. And so what I need to do is use this contraption, some kind of wrench for this thing, because it's really hard to take off. So I'm going to make sure everything is closed, except I don't have that gray one closed, but the main ones are closed here. You can see them right here, closed. So I'm going to take these off. I'm going to put gloves on first, take them off, and then with that wrench, and then I'm going back and forth. After I clean these, because they've been sitting outside, I'm going to put these on, and so this will make it easier for me to, instead of going deep in there and pulling that one out in there, it'll make it a little easier. It'll be right here. I can pull the valve out to empty the tanks. Super easy. So that's what I'm going to do right now. right, all done. Yeah, you really do need this wrench. I tried before with my hands, and yeah, it's just impossible to budge. So this is a great tool. So yeah, I just all cleaned up, wash my hands, wash the tool, and the bucket. You have to have a bucket under there for sure. It's important. Always wear gloves. That's important. But yeah, I think it's going to work great. What I'm going to do is leave the gray water tank valves open and the black water tank valve closed. So I do empty the gray water tanks more often than I do the black water tank. So it's going to make it easier for me. All I have to do is then just open this valve and the valve on the little convenience center over here, and I can get rid of everything that way. The black water one, since I only do it maybe once a week, you know, I'll have to do one extra step. It's no big deal, but it's important. I think you're not supposed to leave the black water tank valve open. So that's completed. Yeah, I also have this little doodad. It's very similar to the one I installed there. It has the same kind of valvey thing, and it just connects the same way, but it has this. So you connect a hose to it, and it squirts the water directly into the tank to clean it. And I just need to do more research on it. I need to get a water count, so that way I know how much water I'm actually putting into my tank. You don't want to overflow it. So I need to do that before I even try this to clean the tanks out. But yeah, things like this, you know, I am on a budget, but things like this are really important, and to make my life easier and just to keep everything tip-top shape around here. Okay, here's the valve for cleaning. And you can see it has the same thing as the other one did. It has this up and down valve. And when you do this, you leave it down. Here's the hose hooked up to the counter. I'm just going to zero that out. And the water's on, but it has this switch so that you can stop the water if you don't want any more to go up into there. And then this is the output, right? So I just have to make sure that all the valves are open. And this is the black water tank valve, but I'm going to open that anyway, just in case. Okay, so this one is open, and then in here, these are open. Okay. So now that all the valves are open, but this valve is closed, so it doesn't go out, I'm going to shove water up in there, and I'm just going to count. So I've been going back and forth, double checking to make sure everything's good, but that's good. It's up that far. That means it's full, and now everything will be washed out. Fingers crossed. Now all I do, I turn this water hose part off, and now I just lift that, and it's going to go down into my septic tank. Okay, so put the other valve on, the one I originally put on. So that's all set now. Definitely is the gray water tank, and it holds, seems like it only holds like 85 gallons. So the paperwork is wrong. Because it started gurgling out of the sink in this back bathroom. So at least I know it filled and it released everything, and it's pretty clean. I would say it needs to have a couple more times, and inside it will be, yeah, 100% clean. Then we start all over again. Oh god. Alright, that was a bit choppy. I filmed all that in a matter of 2 weeks. So it's a little disjointed. So yeah, this update I will upload in 5 days, and then this week for me, or next week for me, is Mother's Day, and that's going to be another video that will come up a week after Mother's Day. Yeah, I'm excited about that. It's going to be a little different. So yes, so I'm not in ranch clothes. I'm getting ready to go to an event in the town down below us, Willits, that I am working at. I'm volunteering to work at, and so yeah, I'll show you my fit, as they say. But yeah, I don't remember the last time I wore makeup. I just went light and just something casual and cool. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you later. Have a good week.